Hi everyone, it's Sandy, and today I'm finally doing my January wrap-up. I just wanted to let you guys know that if I don't upload a video in more than a week, then I've just been really busy with school. I'm sure you all understand, but I just wanted to keep you in the loop, and that if I go missing for more than a week, then I'm drowning in schoolwork. Moving on, I read 6 books this month. The first book that I picked up in January is Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell, and this is actually a reread. I read this book for the first time over 2 years ago, and I'm so happy that I finally reread this book. I actually filmed a review on this book, so if you're interested in hearing more of my thoughts, I will link it down below. One of my reading goals this year is to reread more of my favorite books, and Fangirl is the first book that I've chosen to reread. I still want to reread one of my favorite series. I just haven't decided what series yet, but hopefully I'll do that soon. If you don't know what this book is about, it follows a girl named Kath who is entering her freshman year in college, and it basically just follows her journey throughout the year. This is one of my favorite books. I love it so much. I love it even more the second time around since I am a freshman in college myself, so I found Kath to be such a relatable character. Kath and Levi are the cutest couple ever. I'm not going to go into too much details about my thoughts since I do have a review, but obviously I give it a 5 out of 5 stars. The next book that I read is Vanishing Girls by Lauren Oliver. What I am going to tell you is that it follows 2 girls and they're both sisters, and judging from the title you might have some sort of idea as to what happens. The plot of this book dragged so much. Nothing really big happens for 60 to 70% of this book, and that kind of really annoyed me because the entire time I was just waiting for it to happen. I just felt like a majority of this book was just unnecessary information. In a way, it does kind of set up everything, but at the same time, it just took way too long for it to happen. So that was my main problem that I had with this book. Although I didn't see the end coming, it wasn't original and I wasn't completely surprised. The thing with Lauren Oliver is that I really enjoyed her Delirium trilogy when I first read it so long ago. It's been over 2 years since I've read the Delirium trilogy. After reading that trilogy, any Lauren Oliver book that I picked up, I just don't really like. So I'm probably gonna stay away from any Lauren Oliver book in the future. Unless the book sounds really interesting, then I'll probably pick it up, but for now I just don't have interest in reading from this author anymore. I actually listened to this book as an audiobook and I didn't hate it that much to give it a 1 out of 5 stars, but I didn't really like it either, so I ended up giving it a 2 out of 5 stars. The next book that I read is going to be one of my favorites of all time, and that is The Final Empire by Brandon Sanderson. So Joss from Scribbles Read contacted me asking if I wanted to help her host a group read along of this book, and obviously I said yes because she's a great friend of mine and I've been wanting to read this book, and I'm really glad that she did so, and I'm really glad that I participated because if it weren't for that, I probably wouldn't have picked this up as soon as I did. And I'm really glad that I picked it up during my winter break because once school started, I just did not have as much time to read as I would hope. This book was amazing. I actually filmed a review on this book and I haven't gotten around to editing it yet, which makes me so sad because I want to share my thoughts with you guys. This book follows a 16-year-old girl named Vin who gets involved with this group of people that plan on overthrowing the Final Empire. So this is a heist type of book and it was so amazing. Brandon Sanderson does such a great job at describing everything. His world building is so intricate and detailed. I love this book so much. I can't wait to finally edit and post my review on this book so I can share more of my thoughts. This book was amazing, and if you haven't read it yet, you should go pick it up. And I give this book a 5 out of 5 stars because it was just that amazing. The next book that I read is The Strange and Beautiful Sorrows of Ava Lavender by Leslie Walton. This book is about a girl named Ava Lavender who was born with wings. What I found really interesting about this book is that it doesn't follow her right away. It starts off with her great-grandmother, then it goes down to her grandmother, then her mother, and then finally her. That was such a unique way of storytelling and I really enjoyed that. When I first read it, I mainly wanted to read about Ava Lavender and not about her mom, her grandmother, or her great-grandmother. But as I was reading it, I just came to appreciate what I was reading because this book isn't just about her, it's about her family as well and where she comes from. I felt like it was a really important part of the story. This book was just so beautifully written, it's so whimsical, and I really love the magical realism aspect in this book. I didn't know what to expect when I first picked this book up, aside from the fact that the main character is born with wings. I really loved how this book surprised me in ways that I've never been surprised before. This book was pretty emotional and I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. The next book that I read is The Bane Chronicles by Cassandra Clare, Sarah Reese Brennan, and Maureen Johnson. This book is a collection of novellas following Magnus Bane, who you've seen in The Mortal Instruments and The Infernal Devices. And honestly, I didn't really like this book. For the novellas that followed Magnus's past, I just didn't really care what was happening and I had no interest in reading about it, but I just read it anyways. The novellas that I really enjoyed were the ones that took place in like the present, where he was with Alec, and even if they weren't dating, Alec was still in his life. And I just really enjoyed those chapters. I didn't really care about Magnus's past. Because of that, I ended up giving this book a 2.5 out of 5 stars. The last book that I read for January is Candide by Voltaire. This is actually a book that I read for my history class, so I'm not going to be talking much about it. Surprisingly, I did enjoy this book. It was a really fast read. Voltaire uses a lot of satire throughout this novel, and I really enjoyed reading about all the problems that the main character faces, and it was just a really interesting, entertaining read. This is definitely one of the books that I've had to read for school that I did somewhat enjoyed. Because of that, I gave this book a 3 out of 5 stars. That is it for my January wrap up. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. Let me know what books you read in January, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!